Right, come on. We got to go up the right way. Morning, everyone. Morning. We'll go ahead and start a time check here shortly. Let us wait and see who we can get in here with us today. We have Stock Market Wolf today at 11. So we'll see what happens. See if we can get back in time to catch that webinar. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and shut the stream down here and just catch the webinar from my phone. Hopefully everyone's having a good Sunday. Hoping everyone's having a good end to their weekend. A good start to Sunday. Man, so far so good. Good weekend. Last week was a pretty decent week. I just gotta stay on point, man. I think what happened Friday was like I was too comfortable. I felt too good as far as how the week went, and I eased up a little bit, but it's okay. We live, we learn. Those are lessons. And we keep pushing, right? We keep pushing. We'll start a time check here shortly. What we usually do is we'll start off in California, and then we'll make our way down. Come on, Ray. All the way to New York. So whoever's stepping in, whoever's pulling up, go ahead and shout out your location, what time it is, and what people are doing in your area at this time. So let's go ahead, kick it off in California. It is 7:23. It's still early. A lot of people are sleeping in California. A lot of the younger guys that are used to waking up early, younger kids, are probably watching Sunday morning cartoons. Some families are getting ready for Sunday Mass. It's still pretty early in California. I just got off the phone with my mom. She's on her way to work. She just got done cooking some breakfast for my brothers, and now she's on her way to work. So California, everyone's pretty much starting their day. I seen that Stock Market Wolf posted his link for the webinar. That's going to be at 8 o'clock California time. So we'll run this stream. We'll see how long this stream goes. If I can make it back to the desk in time, I'll probably stream the webinar. But if I'm still out here, I'm going to have to shut the stream down and go that way. Okay, so Arizona, it is 8:24. A lot of people are at Sunday Mass, the first Mass. I'd say for the most part, people who work pretty hard during the week are probably sleeping still. Or somebody that is an early bird, they're probably working out. They're probably at the gym, probably getting that little jog in. I can only imagine the weather's probably similar to what it is in here in Texas. It's nice. It's a nice little breeze with the sun. Feels good. Feels decent. Texas. So here we are in Texas, man. Williams County, 9:24. I really wanted to get this walk out earlier, but I've been lagging. Come on, Riley, let's go. I've been noticing I've been lagging on a lot of things lately. Procrastinating and waiting, trying to find. Come on, Riley. Waiting for an excuse or a reason for it not to happen. I need to start acting on my goals, on my plans. I need to start taking initiative. Today is Sunday. What's up, Trading NQ Futures? What's up, my brother? Hope you had a green week, brother. Hope you had a green week. They upgraded my account, so they pulled that account that I was sharing. They pulled it up to XFA, so I'm no longer trading that account anymore. I'm trading XFA, so ended my week pretty good. I got a couple. My Funded Futures, no, MFFU, emailed me on Saturday, gave me a couple free combines, and then I got a couple free combines from Danny Trades from FFF Futures Family Funding or whatever. So gonna start the week pretty good. So total 11 PA accounts now, 11 total. So I'm gonna have to be on my stuff with overtrading. Yes, sir. I'm on all 6-day win streak. I know, man. On Friday, I took a little micro trade for $75, and I called it a day. And then shortly after that, around lunch, I locked out the account, and then I got an email later on that night upgrading the account to XFA. That's my first XFA. All of them are, all the accounts I have with Top Step are just funded accounts. None of them are XFAs. This is the first freaking, actually, nice. $75 is a good for micro. Yeah, it was kind of, I don't know if I got lucky, right? Because it was like, as soon as I entered, it kind of just broke down. Come on, let's go. It broke down. The trade was less than, I want to say 3 minutes long. And I ran from the computer. Got away from it. Yeah, I feel that the market is in a good area for some good trades next week. I feel that we have a nice range. And if we can break out a range, we'll get some nice movement to the upside. Or if we continue down on this downtrend, it should be nice. That's my opinion. Either or, no matter what happens, the market goes up, market goes down. I hold no bias. You know, if you ask me what price ES is at right now, I look you straight in the eye and say, I don't know and I don't care, because I'm just trading from level to level. That's it. Yeah, those are the best trades, the in and out. Hit it and quit it. I try not to, at least a minimum of 5 minutes. But sometimes, I do set my TPs and I do set hard TPs and hard stop losses. But does not mean I don't take my TP before that, depending on the volume and price action and whatnot. Come on, Riley, come on. It's usually will determine my entries and exits. Nice, good stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I want to get to, I watched your video on the book map. I want to learn book map deeper. I've used it on and off, like dabbled with it for years. I basically watch just like icebergs and the order flow. But I want to get into it a little bit deeper. I run it on one little screen. I have like a side laptop that I run Bookmap on the side of my other screens. But I want to get to know it a little better, and I want to get to know volume a little better. I feel like I know the basics. Riley, sit. I feel like I know the basics, but I need to get, and I feel that I can sharpen my craft a little bit more, But the main thing that I could say that probably kills me is over trading and just not giving it up when I know. Like you said, sometimes you get those 3-minute trades and you're like, what the fuck? That's it. I need to have that level in my brain where it's like, hey, 3 minutes is okay. I know we usually spend 2 hours, but 3 minutes is fine as well. but my average trade length is an hour. Oh, that's beast. Hour. Yeah. Mine's about, I think my average is 43 minutes or something. Oh, look at that. About 43 minutes is my average hold trade. And I do add in and add out of trades, but ultimately I'm holding the same trade, right? Because I never exit the position fully. Some people say, oh no. Oh, dog alley. Oh, Cashy. Whoa. Yeah. NQ, what do I call you, man? I don't have a name for you. How you want me to call you and refer you to? Wake up time, I know, right? Wakey, eggs and bakey. What can I refer you to? The reason I was asking you that other day when you were live about trading with somebody or with the community is because I've done that in the past, right? And I'm not saying to follow somebody or tell somebody when you're entering or anything like that. Not by those means. What I meant was what I did in the past is I would open my house and we'd have 3 to 5 traders at max, and everyone traded a different style. One guy traded NQ, another guy traded options, another guy traded US 30, another guy traded ES. But one thing in common is we all had in common is we were navigating the markets, and we were giving we're just saying what we see, right? And saying what we see, and it's on you to apply it to what you're doing. That's the only reason I asked, because you seem like you have a pretty good grips on Bookmap, and I don't, straight up. I tell you what I'm good at and what I'm not. And one thing is I know the basics of Bookmap, and I would love to get to know it. Do you get what I'm saying? Taylor, do you get what I'm saying? Like, not like, hey, guys, let's all jump in here and get, no. I'm not for that. I'm totally against that, like signals and, if anything, I'm more like, okay, these are major levels. You know what I mean? You guys do what you want at these levels, but I'm going to call out when, NVIDIA breaks this and Apple does this and this and that. Yeah. Nothing, no type of competition, no type of, at the end of the day, we all have the same, we're all going against the machines, right? We're all going against market makers. So, and I did this for about, I want to say a year. And then what happened is everyone went their own way, bro. Some people started up channels. Some people started Discords. Some people started selling mentorships. Other people started bad-mouthing me, writing stuff on Reddit and making YouTube videos about me. At the end of the day, I was just trying to bring people together to trade that had the common passion. But that's just what it is. I want to ask you, I trade ES futures. That's my go-to day trade, ES futures. I swing trade though, options, SPY, SPX. I'll do what is called lotto, EOD, end of day lotto. I'll do SPX. There's been times where I've got like a 50-cent contract, which is like $50, $60. Whoa, I didn't see that. That guy scared me. That's a beautiful dog. Where I've got like a 55-cent contract, about an hour to close, and I've watched it go to like $20, which is $2,000. And that's happened multiple times a month. But yeah, I trade ES futures. I'll dabble with NQ here and there, maybe once or twice a week when I feel like ES is not acting right. But 90% ES futures, SPY swings, and SPX lottos. I was, for many years, for about, say 2 years, 2.5 years, I was strictly SPY options. SPY options intraday 0 DTE. I did that for a long time. And then I switched over to SPX. And then I switched over to the futures. So I was just, I learned more and more about prop firms, and I figured how to leverage your money and the tax benefits and stuff like that, especially for somebody that's been doing it as long as I have. There's large benefits, but don't get me wrong, I trade my Thinkorswim account as well, but not as active as I am on my funded accounts. NASDAQ. Why not NASDAQ? I don't know. It's just preference. There's nothing wrong with NASDAQ. Nothing wrong with NASDAQ. NASDAQ is QQQ, right? QQQ is cash NASDAQ, right? And SPY is cash market ES. So I've always been a SPY trader, so I kind of just easily transitions to ES. And I trade ES based off of SPY levels, right? Vice versa. So that's why. Nothing wrong. Only thing I really use ES is to get a better entry on my current trade thesis for NASDAQ. If it gets 50 points against me, I'll look to enter ES. And oh, nice. That's a good confluencing. Or what are those ICT guys call that? SMT? Is that like a SMT entry or whatever? I'm not sure if I said that right. I don't know all the lingo. I just use the 5-minute time frame. I base my trades off of structure. I use the 9, 20, and 50 EMA. I use the VWAP. Price, action, and volume. That's it. And then I use my entries based off of how we break or reject off of key zones, based on the volume and candle structure. That's it. Or whatever you want to call supply demand or support resistance or whatever. I just plot my key levels from a top down. Start off with the weekly, and go down. Most of the levels come off of the 4-hour and the 1 hour, and then I'll drop down a 30-minute, draw some structure like continuous buying or continuous selling channels, algo, or whatever people call them. You know, it's pretty much just looks like a channel, and I'll base my trades off of that. If there's the structure to go up, if it looks like it's gonna break the structure, I go down in my 5-minute chart and I base it off of a zone. You know, I don't enter shorts off of resistance or longs off of support, you know, vice versa. I don't know what the terms are. Yeah, it's the people change up the names too much, way too much. But yeah, yes sir. Stock Market Wolf, he's doing a webinar, and you know, I always said that you're never too old, or you haven't been in the, you know, you're always learning, pretty much. I'm getting tongue-tied. And the webinar starts in about 20 minutes. So I'll probably, if I make it back to the office in time, I'll stream it. If not, I'm gonna end the stream and watch it from my phone as I walk the dog. But yeah, so that's why ES. Hey, any courses you suggest or you have? I suggest, man, is getting acquainted with the charts. What I suggest is getting TradingView and just watching it pick a stock and watch it. Pick the S&P, pick NASDAQ, and watch it for a month. Watch how it moves, play with the time frames, play with the chart, watch watch videos, stay away from something called ICT. It will mess your brain up. I've only seen bad come out of it. So stay away from something called ICT. Everything else, soak it up. Soak it up. Start with prop firms. Don't trade your own money. I messed up. I traded my own money. I lost about 80 something grand in 2 years, man. In 2 years. And then halfway through the second year, I started to become profitable. And then I became consistently profitable after about 3 years and some change. I've been trading since 2010. Thank you. Don't use ICT. Yeah. I wouldn't get stuck on any type of strategy, right? Price action, volume, and candle structure, I would try to concentrate on. I would figure that out, and then try to figure out how the market moves, right? And why it moves the way it moves. And if you can figure that out, and once you figure that out and you have a good grasp with TradingView platform or any other platform that you're going to be using, then I would start looking into courses and other things like that. Does that make sense? What do you, any recommendations you have, Taylor, for Kashi? Sit. And if you start off with any type of trading, I guess you can say concept, start with the basics, man. Supply and demand and support resistance. Understand why those levels are there. For example, why the big institutions buy and sell, from those key levels. When? Figure out a schedule, what time you're gonna trade every day at the same time, For me, it's no questions asked. I don't trade unless it's New York session. If we are not NYSE, then I don't trade. I don't even look at the charts. I haven't even looked at the charts since Friday morning. All I watch is order flow with icebergs, absorption, huge buy sell surge. Is price above POC? Looking for long. Nice. Same way you use POC, I kind of more or less use VWAP. No shorts above VWAP and no longs below VWAP. I like POC too because price always gravitates towards POC, right? When I was a big time lotto EOD trader, SPX at end of day would always, about 90% of the time, close at POC. So we would be able to catch those bigger moves, We'd lock that in with the bias and other confluencing factors, and we get far enough from POC during end of day lotto, we would target it. But yeah, I love session profile, point of control. That's all volume. That's everything I watch. Like I said, I like volume, price action. I watch the DOM for order flow, but I do need to update my data on the DOM. I only get 100 order. The first 100 is like 50 sell, 50 buy. I don't remember how many I get, but I have the level 2 data. I need the level 3. I like moving average 4. Nah, the 44 doesn't make any sense. Why 44? One thing with the EMAs, it's a trending indicator, right? So you don't base your trades off of a trending indicator. I use the EMAs as levels, right? Same way I use levels. I base my, if it breaks above where the 9 EMA is located, if we stay above the 9, if we stay below the 9, stuff like that. But always remember, EMAs are trending indicators. Riley, sit. are trending indicators, right? Always remember that. And when you base something off of a certain indicator, like the 44, what do you base that 44 off of? What does 44, why 44? Why not 45? I'm just asking. The highest EMA I use is 50, and that's like, you know, yeah, I've heard of anyone use, yeah, 44 EMA. I mean, you can use any EMA, right? People use the 50, the 200, but I've used the 9, 20, and 50 for the past 3 years. I've used it, and ever since I figured out how to use it, it's golden, man. It's golden. Again, I don't base any trades based off of indicators. They are solely trending indicators. Just like when I draw channels or algos or continuous buying, continuous selling, or trend lines, or I don't draw trend lines, I draw channels, by the way. So when I draw that, it's the same thing as an indicator. It's just, let's go. It helps me identify the trend, and it just gives me more confluencing factors. I never base my trades off of any indicator. Come on, Riley. My personal EMA I use. Nice. Okay. Well, I'm just asking, what's your bias with it? Like, how do you use it? Is it when we touch it, we reject off of it, or does the price like to gravitate towards that? Like I said, I use the 20, the 9, 20, and 50, and it doesn't come to the 50 much, right? In a day, it's more around the 9 and 20 EMA, right? So I'm trying to picture type of reaction that you're looking for when we approach the 44. I used to live in Texas, just moved far away a couple months ago. Was tired of hurricanes. Nice, I'm in Texas, man. I just moved to Texas June of 2023. My wife got a teaching job out here at Texas State, and we moved out here, and my wife's family is out here. I'm originally from California, born and raised Southern California. I haven't experienced any hurricanes yet. Hopefully I don't have to, or tornadoes. I've experienced the heat and the cold, but no tornadoes yet. Hopefully I don't have to, because I don't think I'm prepared. I would not know what to do. I'm from California. In California, we have earthquakes. And in an earthquake, there's not much you can really do in an earthquake. It's for confirmation entry. It helps in breakouts and breakdowns and continuous dynamic support of resistance. Nice. Okay. Makes sense. Everything is all preference, right? So there's no wrong or right answer, right? If it works for you, it works for you. You know what I mean? You figured out how to use it, right? It's a tool, like like a carpenter. Carpenter has a hammer. I'll use a hammer differently than the carpenter will use the hammer. Doesn't mean the way I'm using it is wrong or the way he's using it is wrong. We just figured out different ways to use it. I grew up in Houston. Sat through so many hurricanes, man. So I'm in Williams County. That's like sit. I'm in Williams County. That's like, let's go. That's about, I say 45 minutes from the Austin airport. I don't know what the hurricanes and the tornadoes look like in this area. where I live is all, come on, it's all new, like new development. So all the houses are all new. Like the house I live in, we were the first people to move in it. Nobody's ever lived in that house before us. So I don't think they've been through any hurricanes or tornadoes here. These homes are less than 5 years old max. And to be honest, they're pretty cheaply built. You know what I mean? And you could tell they look nice, but you can tell they use real cheap material and whatnot. Yeah. If a hurricane or tornado came in this neck of the woods, I think they'd probably take all these houses with it. You know? But then again, I'm not a carpenter, so I don't know anything about how to build a home or, you know. But just from the home that we purchased, it's pretty cheaply built. And next home that when I move out of this home, I'm gonna make sure that take a better look at that. We're almost home, so it looks like we're gonna get to live stream the stock market wolf webinar. And I paid $5,500 for his mentorship in 2022, and he's very relatable. There's things I agree, there's things I disagree, but I love it when I can get a different perspective. That's why I go check out Taylor's channel, so I can get some good info on Bookmap, you know. Yeah, they build them quick, man. Like I've seen houses go up and go down quick within 6 months, and it's like, how do you build a house so quick? Oh, that dog's foaming. Come on, Riley. You gotta be a good dog. We trained you not to be reactive, so do not bark. Yeah, they go quick. We're gonna make it to the webinar, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and live stream this webinar. Come on, Riley. But yeah, I paid, like I said, and then I pay monthly for the sit. I pay monthly for the for his app. It's called Circle, and take a look at it right now. Come on, let's go. Take a look at it right now. I'm glad I get to share this with you guys, with somebody that he trades NQ, so you guys will probably like this. He's an NQ trader. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second as I let my dog in the house here. A few seconds, guys. Hey. Where is it? Sorry, guys. 1 second. Almost there. No, it's not there. Dang, where is it? Maybe it's on this computer. Here we go. Nice. Make sure audio is working. And then give me a second, guys. I'm gonna grab something to eat. Nice. Making sure it works. Now I can hear my son. Like that, trading mouse pad. I got it for Father's Day a few years back. My son got it for me. Oh man, I started with the laptop. You want to see how I started? I'll show you how I started. It's funny that you say that, right? Sure. Let's see if I can find it. Probably won't be able to. Oh, yeah, if you guys are wondering, these are packages that we donate. We send out to the Philippines. I got family in the Philippines and stuff. It's good for taxes, and it helps my family, so I feel good about it. Where is it? One second, you guys are probably like, man, this is a boring stream. See if I can find it. I can't find it. They don't want me to find it. Yeah, there's a picture I wanted to show you, but I can't find it. It showed you when I first started. Try using search for. Oh yeah. Good idea. It's an old post from like 3 years ago. That's why. Half of these guys don't even trade anymore. I just come here for my vlogs and journal entries and stuff like that. Here, this is a guy. This was a foundation we helped out in 2022. From Orange County, same here. So check this out. We helped this guy out, right? Man, he was so fun to work with, man. Stuff like that makes me makes me super, super, super stoked.
Go to Google. Are you able to go to?
You check him out, man. He goes around talking to a bunch of other people who have trouble speaking and confidence issues. And believe it or not, it helped me in my trading, man. It helped me be more confident in my setups, and it's just crazy how life and trading interacts with each other.
What is up?
Okay, here we go.
Good morning, good morning. What's going on? You guys can hear me okay? How are you guys doing? Let's go. Beautiful. What up, what up, what up? I'm excited. Hope you guys are excited. I haven't done something like this in a very long time. So it's gonna be dope. So first of all, thank you guys for joining on a Sunday. I know you guys, Sundays are typically family days, all that good stuff. But anyhow, we're gonna go over everything that I possibly can in a short amount of time, which is about 2 hours, right? But first, I want to see where you guys are coming in from. So let's launch this poll here real quick. Where are you guys coming from? So you can type it in the chat. I also put up something. Hopefully you guys can comments. Missouri, Jacksonville, Boston, Miami, Sacramento, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Missouri, Santa Barbara, Australia, Italy, Toronto, London.
We're North America, right? Yeah.
LA, Kuwait,
Make sure you guys get out the.
Thousand Oaks, Germany, Portugal, Texas. It's awesome, guys. I mean, look at the list. We got people from North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia. We have one person from Oceania.
What about Antarctica?
From Antarctica.
Oh, I called it.
That's the thing. We literally have at least one representative from every continent. That is fucking awesome. So, I'll show those results. Obviously, most people coming in from North America, and we got good representation from those in Europe. So, make sure I can see this.
I just realized.
No, I mean, way worse. Sorry, whatever. Not worse. So, let's get into it. Well, the other one question that I would like to ask before we get started is, what would you rate your trading experience? Are you green? Are you red? Or what's your trading experience overall first? Under 2 years, over 2 years? Let's look at that. Are you a brand new beginner overall? Under 2 years. Oh wow, it's 50-50. We have 53% coming in.
NQ. He talks about trading NQ futures.
And we have
NQ futures and
he talks about trading
and ES futures, SPY options. Talks about
so there's our experience level. And the very last question I want to ask you guys is your profit. So let's launch this one. Oh, because I got it. Stop sharing. Okay, so here's the profit. Are you overall green, you overall red, or break even or zero? That you have any Okay, we have a lot of you that are in the red category. A lot. So we're gonna have to change that up. That's the whole purpose of this webinar. Okay. More red than green. Some of you break even. Turn my ceiling. So we got a good list of down. Some people are down. Down 40K, down 100K, down 4K. We got to change this up. We got to make this look a lot better. So hopefully we can get the other question I have, and you can just type this into the chat. I just want to get a gauge and a feel for who wants to learn options and who wants to learn futures or shares. Type it in. Type what you're interested in learning. Futures, both. Futures. Ton of futures. Alright, well, we're covering both. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get started. This isn't going to be recorded. I do have a free YouTube where I have a course. I obviously have paid courses, things of that nature. I'm not here to sell you on a fucking course.
Alright, brother. I'll see you.
Free.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Literally from the start of this to the end of this, it's going to be nothing but God. Okay? But I'm not recording it. I always believe in showing up. So, all distractions on my end are out the door. So my phone is on silent. And it's put away. I'm here with you, and we're going to get this going through. Alright? So, let's start. Let's just make sure you guys can all see the screen. Yes? You guys can all see the screen okay? Looks alright. It's nice and clear. Doesn't look too bad on your laptops. Everything looks good. Fantastic. Alright. Go ahead and get right into this now. The very first thing that you guys need with trading, okay, is just simply to set up a firm. That is step number one in the trading space. Okay. And the way that I figure, because this is a free webinar, I'm going to try to get through everything within an hour, and then I'm going to leave the last hour for Q&A, okay, to try and give you guys value. So hold me accountable. It is, what time are we at? It is 8:08. So at 9:08, I need somebody to be like, Drew, shut the fuck up, and let's get to Q&A, right? So somebody has to be bold enough to do that. Or all of you guys as a collective. Right? So anyway, how to even get started. Okay? So what do you want to do? Okay. Now, there are two paths for you to trade. Okay. And, let's see if you guys can see this. Can you see that red line that I just drew in the middle of the screen right there? Yes. Okay. There are two paths for you to go through. Okay. You could go through a prop firm. I'm going to talk about all things prop firm here in a second. Or you can use your own money. Your own money. Okay. Excuse the chicken you're scratching. Oh, kids are listening. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do my very best, people. I cuss like a sailor, but I'm going to do my very best not to cuss. So hold me. Every time I cuss, I have to give away something. Alright? So, let's hold it. Alright. I have a feeling that I'm going to give away a lot of fucking money. Alright, I did that one on purpose. That one didn't count. That one. Alright. So, with using your own money, let's start here first. Sorry. Alright. With using your own money, there are two extremes that come out of it, right? And let's be honest. Majority of Americans today have less than $5,000 in their savings. And that's just being honest and true. I have friends personally that I have known since I was a young kid, and now we're adults, that have less than $5,000 in their bank account. They couldn't afford an emergency, much less to invest any of their money in the market. And here's the harsh reality that I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to stop sharing so you can focus on me. not care about you. The only person that is going to care about you is you and your family and your kids. So you have to take it upon yourself to get yourself to that next phase. Now I'm going to do my very best to help you, but you have to be willing to put in that effort and that work. Okay? Alright, let's get back to it. So, if you don't have the funds, the money to trade, the very first recommendation I have is going through Apex Trader Fund. Okay? Now, this is only for futures trading. You cannot trade options out of Apex Trader Fund. And what I want to do, okay, is as I'm going, if you guys have a question, type it in the Q&A box. There's a Q&A box you guys should be able to see. And also, if you have a question or you want me to stop, just type it in capital letters, stop, so that I make sure I don't go too fast. I am catering today, normally when I do my live stream, when I trade, we have different experiences from people that know nothing to people that have been trading with me for a while. And I try to stay right in the middle. Today, I am catering to the very bottom of people. QA is okay. Let's just type it in. Okay. That sucks. Now, with prop firms, what a prop firm does, okay, specifically Apex Trader Fund, you are going to click on Get Started. And when you go to Get Started, there are two separate plans that you can use. Commitment plan, or you can use Trader. These are essentially just the brokerages. Okay. My experience is those that have used TraderBait don't have much use. Okay. So when you come down here to select TraderBait, there are multiple accounts that you can select from. You have a $25,000 account, a $50,000 account, a $75,000 account, a $100,000 account, a $150,000 account, all the way up to $300,000 in capital that they will fund for that account. You don't need to have $25,000 in your own money. And I don't want to be so confusing to people, okay? But if you are trading with your own money, not using this, right? If you are trading with your own money and you go to like, a Charles Schwab, okay, and you decide to sign up for a brokerage through Charles Schwab, you have to have your own capital to play with. And that capital is going to be expensive. You can have what is called a cash account and trade with less than maybe $10,000, but there's going to be caveats to that. If you want to day trade unlimited, you have to have 25K in that account. Yes, Eric, I'm going to cover everything. I'm going step by step. So there's going to be some of you that are coming from different experiences. Maybe you've already been trading, but I'm catering. How many of you, and let me just do that, how many of you know nothing in relation to trading? Type in me if this is brand new to you. You know absolutely nothing. I got to talk to people. I can't let them not get to at least a point of middle, right? So again, for those of you that do know, just be a little patient. We're gonna get there, but we're here for a while, okay? So if you don't have 25,000 of your own money to day trade unlimited, and you want to day trade unlimited, well, Apex is going to be that solution. With trading with Apex, you pay a monthly fee, which we highlight this. You pay a monthly fee, which the monthly fees are right here. And then, depending on the monthly fee you pay, that's the capital that you have. That is the capital that you have within your account. But the real thing you want to focus on is the amount of contracts you're trading with that they allow you to trade with in your profit and loss loans. So let's just use this middle one here of $50,000. Okay. If you decide to sign up for a $50,000 account, it's going to come at the cost. If you pay full price, $167 a month. You guys all got an email, correct? Today for the live. In that email, I gave you guys a coupon code to use for this to lower this cost. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what the percentage off is, but it will lower this cost so you're not paying full price. It may be like 80% off. So whatever 80% off, I can't even do that right now. It's Sunday morning, or 50%. Okay? So you take, let's just call it 50%, so maybe it's $80 a month, let's just say. Okay? 80 bucks. Or some people are saying it's 33. Somewhere between $33 to $80 a month you will get my coupon code, what I sent in this month. Okay? Your goal with the 50K account, now I'm gonna draw 50K right here. Your goal is to get this account to $53,000. Your trailing threshold is 2,500. So if this drops immediately when you start from 50,000 to 47,000 and a half, 2.5, right? You are going to get kicked out. It will take you out right away, and you will have to sign right back up. Otherwise, you wait a 30 period of time where you are going to get billed again, and then you can go and try again. Okay? Now, this is where people have problems. On a trading day, let's say you're going up and you're at 52.5. You get up to 52,500. The day hasn't ended yet, and it comes back down to where you started on the day of 50,000. You get kicked out. You can't lose that 2,500 bucks. Even though you're coming back to your starting point, and all you did was give back your profit, you're going to get kicked out. You're going to fail your evaluation. The whole goal is not to hit that trading threshold. Okay? So, could I have a scenario where I go from 50,000 to, let's say, that 52,500 again, and it comes down to, let's say, 51,000, could I not just get out there and take my profit? Okay? Could totally do that. I could totally do that and be okay. Now, there are multiple different prop firms that are out there that exist in the trading space today that you can go and sign up. All you have to do is type in like futures trading prop firm. You probably get a list of like maybe 5 good ones. Okay. There are pros and cons to all of them. Just like here, people call it a con of this trailing drawdown that happens while you're trading. But there's benefits that they are doing for you. And you just have to cover your profit. You just have to cover your profit. And that is what they're trying to teach you. Now there's other benefits that come out from here as well. And that trailing threshold, by the way, only goes for a certain time. Once you pass a certain profit zone, past the 53,000, I think it's like 56 maybe or something like that, there is no more trailing drawdown. Okay, once you get to that point, there is no more trailing drawdown, so you don't have to worry about hanging on to trades. You just have to make sure you stay comfortable with the game. Right? I know there's a chat. You guys don't. You can focus on the chat if you want. That's great if you do. But we're having the discussion right here. Okay? People in the chat, they're going to have their own experiences and their own biases through their experience. Right? So if some of it may be valid, some of it may not. And they're just differences in their opinions. If you want to listen to it, then continue to the end of the chat, or you can focus on the discussion. Okay. It's up to you, it's your time. Okay, so now going back into our discussion here is this threshold is only going to last for a little bit. Once you pass a certain profit target, you no longer have to worry about this. Now, Andrew, why go through a profit? It's a really good question. Why go through a profit is because there are two entries to the market. Number one is education, which we are giving you education right now, actually for free. Okay, so people don't get involved in something that they don't know, right? It's scary, and people don't like being scared, right? I could go get in a whole convo about that, of how it limits you, right? Your mind is your own. So finances, or education is one piece. Finances is the second entry to the market. You may have all the education in the world, but if you don't have the finances to trade, it doesn't matter. You may have all the money in the world, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to last very long in the market. So you need to have both education and finances. Now going back to the very beginning, majority of people do not have the finances to trade. How many of you know could afford an $80 subscription? Just think about it for 1 month. How many can pay $80? A lot of us, right? Yes, if you can afford $80. Yes, right? That's like not going to Starbucks for like 3 weeks or something, okay? So, it's a lot easier, right? How many of you would rather pay $80 versus funding an account with $25,000? Right? Would you rather pay $80 or would you rather put in $25,000? Right? Because that's what it is. It's either $80 or $25,000. Now, here's the problem. Okay? For those that save their own money, if you're a beginner and you're starting off, do you think you are going to start winning right away? No, you're not. You are going to take losses. And if I'm trading with my own money, $25,000, what is at risk? If I'm trading with my own money, what becomes the risk? My own money. In the chat room, type it in. If you have lost your own money trying to trade, and if so, a ballpark amount, right? Are you over 10,000, over 5,000, right? Some people have lost 5,000, some people have lost $40,000 trying to figure out how to trade. So the idiots that are saying, I would rather trade $25K versus getting $80. I mean, you're a sense because we are seeing there are people losing money. Why would you ever risk your own money? It just doesn't make any sense to me why you would expose that. Okay? The whole goal is to limit your exposure in the market. Your whole goal is not to expose, at least in the beginning, while you're trying to understand how to do this. So, me personally, am I going to get a divorce? Am I going to lose sleep over $80? Are you? Would you lose sleep over $80? Probably not, right? Probably not. So, again, this is my recommendation for a lot of you. Now, when you do get started, and you join the trading team, you come in, you sign up, you fill all this paperwork out, you are going to get sent an email to join Trader. Once you do that, you get the software of Trader. And then from there, you link it to something called Trading. Okay? And we help go through all of that. Okay? When you're in Trading View, this is where you can actually come and trade. Now, in that property, that $80 a month is only there until you pass your evaluation. So if you go from 50,000 to 53,000 in one day, you no longer have to pay that monthly fee. If you do it in a week, your goal is to try to do it before that monthly fee comes back up, right? Which is very important. Even in the event it costs you 2 months to pass, that's $160. 160 versus 25K, which one's cheaper? Right? Which one's cheaper? Now, in the event, okay, Andrew, that's great if I pass. What happens if I lose? If I go from 50,000 to 47,000, am I responsible for that loss in that $2,500? No, you are not. You are only responsible for that monthly fee that you pay. That's it. You are only responsible for that monthly fee that you pay. Even when you do pass your evaluation, and you start, once you pass your evaluation, you have to pay a one-time what's called an activation fee, like $80. Okay? So you're in the hole a total of $160. As you make money, I believe the first 25,000, if I'm not mistaken, is all your profit. In the event, after that, you've got a 90-10 split. You keep 90%, you keep 10%. It's a very great thing, and I'm so glad we did this. Okay? Because it gives people the opportunity to trade. The other thing that's going to come into play is psychology. We're going to get there next. Okay? We'll get there in a second. Now, again, if you have questions, I want to be able to ask and help answer, right? And if we go past 2 hours, we go fucking hell. Fuck. Damn it. 2, 4. No. Oh my god, that was a glitch. Sorry, guys. Alright, sorry, kid. I've been trying so hard all day not to cut. Okay. Yeah, any questions? I'm trying so hard not to. But anyway, once you get all this squared away, you want to get trading, and this is where we're going to start to trade, and this is when we'll start to get into some of the nitty-gritty of trading. Alright. Before I go on and start talking about trading specifically, do you guys have any questions to signing up for any accounts? Let's say you pass your evaluation and you blow up your account. You are only responsible for the money
cannot withdraw at any time. There are rules that they set for you. And I was hoping to get a rep in here so that they can talk, they can come and talk to you. Let me see if I can. And I'll save that for the end, okay? But Apex is only futures. They don't do equity or options. It's only futures. And it's only specifically day trading. There's a lot of YouTube videos that are up there as well that kind of go over the review. We'll see if Vince, who's one of the reps there, can join up. That's what I'll do now. Every 8 days of trading, or so, right? There's a set of parameters, and as long as you stay within those rules, you have nothing to worry about. It's just like driving, right? As long as I stay within my driving mode, I'm not going to get it. So, some people complain about them because they don't have the capability to be the trader. They're literally not that hard. And you have more people that can do it. Okay. Does the platform work with me? Yes, it will. Can I trade at night when the market's moving after the reset? Yes. When can you reapply your trade? You can reapply right away. You don't have to wait for that 30 days. You can do it right away, but you're going to pay for it. Can you link accounts for evaluation? Yes, you can. There is no swing trading when it comes to trading accounts. Once funded, does the trading drawdown continue? Yes, for a small period of time, and then after that, it does not. It's within the rules. ES or NQ is an option, is an example of a trade space. I sent you guys all an email for the link to here. It's also within the chat room. So all you have to do, you guys all have access to this site, I hope. app.stockmarket.com, right? Here is the site that we use to talk with our members. Okay, you guys should have all got an email to join this. Within here, today I put the free webinar, and within here, I gave you guys a list of resources, such as the Apex discount code, and how to get started with that, okay? And I use from everyone. That question I don't know because I'm not in Italy, so I don't know if people in other areas will be able to use it. I'm sure there are, if it's not Apex, I'm sure there are other things that exist for you to use. Yes, you can mirror your evaluation account. So people that are beginners, what mirroring is you can link multiple accounts together. And all you have to do is trade one, and it will copy to the other account that you have. This is also one of the benefits of using Apex, is that you can have up to a maximum of 20 accounts. And that's where the numbers start to really come in. And I'll explain that as we go on. Yes, you have to pay for each account. If you want more. Can you mirror my accounts? No. 20 accounts of what size? You can have 20 $300,000 accounts. You can have 20 $100,000 accounts. You can do a mixture. You could get a mass account no matter the size. I I will be going over risk management. I will be going over trading strategy as you get into the game. Are there prop firms for options trading? Not any that I know of. Do I recommend 50,000 or 100,000? It's a really good question. So I want you guys to think about this as you guys are looking to get into your firm. If I have a $50,000 account, my profit goal is to hit $3,000. How many people think that is very possible? In your mind right now, it's possible for you. Type in yes. It is very possible. And to prove that further, okay, to prove that further, here is our testimonial. And on here, I can scroll like this, scroll like this, scroll like this. These are all the people that are passing their visa. These are all the people that are passing their account. This is past 25 people. This person passed 50 people. So it's possible to pass. It is very possible to hit those target goals. Right? And this is all testimony. So let's go back. Now let's look at $300,000. Your profit goal is $20,000. Okay? For those of you that are beginner, realistically, how many of you think you could hit $20,000 in 1 month? That's a lot tougher, right? It's pretty hard. So, me personally, if you're asking me which one I would do, I would probably stay within this 50K target. It's not too easy, it's not too hard, it's right in the middle, just right for profitability and also my drive, the realistic drive. Okay? Very, very realistic. Even if you got the 75, there's nothing wrong. Even if you got the 100, that's nothing wrong. But notice, as you start to build in value, your profit goal starts to go up. And as that profit goal goes up, things may get a little harder. So base what account you get based off of your experience is what I would say. Right? If you're brand new, I would probably stay underneath 75K. If you have a little bit more experience and you have an edge to your trading already, I'll probably stay between 75 and 100. Okay? You really don't need the bigger ones, but if you want to get the bigger ones, then by all means do you. Like Sean, he passed his 300 and he's blown 450s. Right? It just depends. So it all is it's just like, do you like ketchup or mustard on your burger? Right? Or both. Alright, so once you get that account, you'll get linked in, okay, to your Tradeovate, and then you can link Tradeovate to TradingView, right? Or you could just stick within Tradeovate itself, okay? Alright, now let's get into actual trading. Is everybody good to move on? Yes? I need unanimous yeses. Yes. We're obviously going to go over time. So we are going to spend a little bit more time here going over trading, and then we'll get into other things. Okay? Let's get into this. All right. What we are looking at right now is a chart. Specifically, the chart we are looking at Where's my little drawing tool? Follow my little red line across the board. We are looking on the top left over here, NQ. NQ stands for the NASDAQ. Okay, so right now we are looking at the NASDAQ chart. What is the NASDAQ, Drew? The NASDAQ is made up of multiple different companies whose actions result in the NASDAQ's actions. Specifically, what companies are in the NASDAQ, Drew? This is a great question for Google. What companies are in the NASDAQ? Well, these are all the list of companies that are in the NASDAQ broken down. Apple, ADP, Amazon. I mean, this is in alphabetical order, okay? And you could just keep going on and on and on and seeing what are the NASDAQ's holding. They're comprised of 100 companies, okay? It is the top 100 blue chip companies. And specifically, they will have, it'll be staggered, okay? It'll be staggered for how much of each company they're holding. Their biggest holdings are listed right here, okay? Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, okay? So that is the NASDAQ. This is why when you trade, it's important to be able to look at, NVIDIA is definitely in there as well. I just think it was missed right on here, but NVIDIA is part of the NASDAQ. Okay, let me get out of here. Go back over here. Okay, so how those individual companies move on a day will result in how the NASDAQ is going to move. The NASDAQ and QQQ are the exact same thing. So if I'm looking at the symbol QQQ, it's the same thing as looking at NQ for futures. QQQ is for trading options, NQ is for trading futures. Okay, and this is where we're going to start to get into, at some point, the pros and cons of both, and which one you may want to stick with. But I'm going to cover futures first, and at the very end, I will get into all the differences with options. And then we'll talk a little bit about swing trading and investing. Here's the weighted list. Thanks, Ryan. So here's your weighted list. Apple comprises about 9% of the portfolio. NVIDIA, 8.5%. Microsoft, 7.8%. AVGO, Meta, Amazon, Tesla. These are the top 7, right? And then you have your Alphabet, your Netflix, etc., etc. Okay? So, anyway. Up over 120,000 since being with your visionary trades. That is awesome. Alright. So, getting into the movement of a chart, we can see that and get that represented. We can have that represented by something called candles. Okay? Each of these candles are going to give us data. Okay? That data is going to be very important on that given day, but it's also going to be just as important as looking at it from a collective. Okay? So, there are 2 types of candles that we can see, green and red. Okay. So, I'm going to draw a green candle. Well, let's first start with a regular candle. Can you guys see that white candle that I'm starting to draw on the screen? Yes. Okay. Every candle has the same anatomy. Okay. There is a body to it. Body. And then once in a while you may see lines that come up and down a candle. These, the top is the height, the highest that candle moved at that time. and the low wick is the lowest that candle moved. These lines are called wicks. Okay, so you have a body of a candle and you have a wick. The top is the high, the bottom is the low. Now there are three types of candles that we need to get familiar with. There is a green candle. Can you guys see that green that I'm drawing? Yes, hopefully. And a green candle may have wicks at the top and bottom. So this was the low, this was the high. Now, when we're looking at the green candle, it still has its body, right? There's a body, which is like the base of the candle, right? But there's a difference between a green and a red. Let me draw the red one first, and I'll show you guys the difference. So here comes the red candle. Right? And it has its high and a low. So the high and the low, those are the same, right? And it still has a body as well. But there are one key difference between the two. You can only see the apex page. How many people can't see my chart? Can you guys see my my trading view chart? No, we're good, right? Yeah, okay. So I thought. Freaked me out for a second. Okay, so there is one subtle difference between both of these. For a green candle, when a green candle starts, the open of that candle starts at the bottom. And when that candle goes to close, it closes at the top. That's why it's green, because it started lower and it closed higher, so that's a good thing. That's green. Okay? A red candle, where do you think it opens at? At the top or the bottom? For you beginners, the top. Okay? This is where that price opens, at that top. And at the bottom is where it closes. So that is the key difference between a green and a red candle. Where they open and where they close. Now the third candle that I mentioned is a candle that may look like this, where it has no body whatsoever. And those are called dojis. What a doji candle is, every single minute that the market is going, you have a constant tug of war. Just think about it like literally a tug of war between buyers and sellers at any given time. So when you see a candle that looks like this, what do you think this indicates? If it didn't go green, and if it didn't go red, and it's right in the middle, what do you think us not being able to move at all means? Hesitation, right? No clear direction. If I have a really strong green candle, what does that indicate? Direction to where? Up or down? Direction up, right? It's called sentiment. I have the current sentiment is bullish, meaning that we are most likely maybe going to move up. If I have a strong red candle, where is the sentiment? Up or down? Down, right? That is called in the market bearish sentiment. When I have a doji where there is no, even if it was colored green or red, but it was just very thin, that's signs of indecision. The market has no clear sentiment on the direction we want to go at this current time. Does this all make sense, people? Yes? Okay. Are you getting value so far in this webinar? Type in value if you're getting value. Let me see it. Let's go. Okay? Value, 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 value. Alright? Sunday webinar. Here we go. Oh, Vince got back to me. Okay. Let me send him the Zoom link. How do I do that? later. Not worried about it right now. Okay, value. All right, so that's candles. So let's look at some real life examples. Right now, these candles represent 1 day of time, 1 trading day. A trading day is broken up into segments of time. Okay, so if we're going to go over time, you have what is called the pre-market. This is before the market opens. This is anything, I'm on the West Coast, okay? Anything before 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay? Is considered the pre-market. Regular market hours, so regular hours, is going to be from 6:30 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard. Okay? For you on the East Coast that don't know how to convert time, that's 9:30 your time to 4 p.m. Okay? If you don't know how to convert time, you got way bigger problems and probably shouldn't be trading. Okay? Alright, so that's regular hours. Then you have something called after hours. And that's anything, guess what, after 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are your after hours. Now, the most active times for day trading specifically, you may find time, so this is going to be active times, I'm writing down here on the bottom. 5:30 a.m. Pacific Standard, okay, which happens in the pre-market. 6:30 a.m., which happens during the regular hours. This is what we call the market open. And that's going to be very, very active till about 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, usually, okay? The next active time, aside from 6:30, you may find like a 10:30 or an 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is where you could find maybe reversal trades, breakouts, continuation patterns, etc. And then you have 12 o'clock p.m., which we call the power hour here on the West Coast. The reason this is called the power hour is this is at 12 p.m. This is when people are having their lunch and can maybe look at the screen and take some trades. So that may work. Okay. Then you have 1 p.m., which is after hours. This may be very useful when there is earnings involved. Okay? Like maybe Tesla has earnings and people think it's going to be really good. So I want to be involved in the market and trade Tesla, or excuse me, trade the NASDAQ.
I agree.
When Tesla moves.
Different perspective. Always good to have different perspective.
Give me 1 second. I just need to send this link out. Sorry.
Regardless if you agree or disagree, it's just a perspective, guys.
I thought you couldn't trade the news with Apex. Well, technically, right? So, and then you have the European market, which opens at 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay? So those are all, in my opinion, the most active times in the market. 5:30 a.m. for the pre-market, 6:30 a.m., which is the time that we do our live streams. So also in that email, you guys got sent a link to join us if you want to trade with me every single day and get our watch list to join. All you have to do is go right over here to StockMarketWolf.com, come over here to learn more, and click on live stream trading, and come and join, okay? That's if you want to do that. You don't have to, I don't give a fuck. Because again, that's like 6, okay? 5. Now, so 6:30 to about 8 is the most volatile. Then you have your intraday trading, power hour, after hours, okay? All right, you guys are all good with time? Any questions related to time? Nothing. Good. Moving on. So when we are looking at these candles here that represent one day, those are a representation of regular hours. So that's from 6:30 a.m. to that 1 p.m. that we talked about, regular hours. So if we are going to summarize one of these, okay, let's look at this one for example. This was on Friday, October 18th. You see at the very bottom it says Friday, 18 October 24. Okay. So this candle right here is October 18th. That's this past Friday. Okay. Cool. October 18th. So at 6:30 in the morning, that's where we were, down there. And at some point in the day, we actually dropped and came down low. So when it dropped and it was lower than where we started, what color was this candle at one point in time? Red, right? It was red. And so, however, at one point we went way up here to this peak, but our close was right here. This was our close at 1 o'clock p.m. Now, was our close lower or higher than where we started? It was higher. Thus, the color is what? Green. Okay? A red candle, I don't think I need to go and explaining how that one works, right? This is where that price opened at that given time, and this is where it closed, and that's why it's red. It closed lower than where it started. Now, these candles, you don't have to just look at a day's worth of data. You could also look at 5 minutes worth of data. And each of these candles now represent 5 minutes of time. You see that? You can see it on the bottom right here. This is 13:55. This is 13:50. This is 13:45. This one here is 13:40. So you can go down even deeper and look at a much more granular scale of representation, okay? To get more insight into these candles and how they're behaving on a given day. Drew, this is all great. I now understand the difference between green and red candles. How does that help me? Great question. Let's go on. So, if I go back to the 1 day chart and I'm looking at data, okay, and let's just look at the year 2024, which starts right here. So let me try to draw a straight line down. That's not straight at all, but you get the idea. 2024, okay? Everything to the right of 2024, that's what happened this year. And so by looking at this data, this is where we started this year, right down here. This is where we are currently at. By looking at this data very quickly, are we lower than higher where we started on the year? We are higher. Thus, we call this an uptrend. We are moving up over the course of time, right? Over the course of this year, there's been a lot of stuff that has happened. At one point, we even came down almost to exactly where we started, and we have moved up. So, from now, by looking at all of these candles as a collective, I could start to get even more data. Think about the candles as your ABCs. And with ABCs, you could put those together and make what? Words. And with words, you can make sentences, and then you can make books. So here, I can now look at those ABCs, and they start to tell me a story. Okay? They start to make a story for me. I can see direction of a given stock. Let's use instead of the NASDAQ, let's pick something else. Let's pick Tesla. Well, what is the story? Let's go to 2024. Here's 2024. This is where we started. This is where we're at. Are we lower or higher than where we started? We're lower. We are lower. And what is the trend? Is it nice and clean up? Is it nice and clean down? Or is it just sideways? It's sideways, right? We could see that, right? This is sideways direction. So these candles tell me direction. But they also give me other insights. Okay? So let's go back to the NASDAQ and let's get into looking at those other insights. Hold up. There we go. Remove. What did I do? Yeah. Oh my God. What am I doing wrong? Delete it all? There we go. Okay. Alright. So, what are some other things that I can get? Well, what you will start to see is price may move like this, right? You see that white scribbly line that I'm drawing? Okay. Sometimes price will move up. So let's draw this here. Sometimes price may move up, and I'm just simplifying it as a white line. And it may hit a point, a price in this case, let's call it 13,750, and it doesn't break that height. And it comes back down over a certain period of time, and it comes back up and hits the price again, and it can't break that price. It can't break that 13,750. So think about right now, I'm in a house. We have a floor and we have a ceiling. Right here, because I can't go any higher, this is my ceiling. Okay? In trading, this is my ceiling. In trading, this is called my resistance. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay? I can't break that ceiling just yet. Okay, so that's my cap. So when I start to get close to here, and we'll talk about strategy here in a second, I don't want to be close to there. Now on the bottom, we may have, I'm trying to draw that a little better. We may have a price that holds as our floor. Okay? We call that our support. Okay? And this ceiling is actually red. We normally color this dark red. Okay? So I'm just going to try and shade that in here. Okay? Red line. Alright? That is our ceiling. So, what happens, you guys ever have those little power bouncy balls? What happens when I bounce the ball and it hits the floor? Where does the ball go? Up or down? Unless I'm the Hulk. It's going to go up. It's going to bounce up, right? And when the ball hits the ceiling, where is it going to do? Come right back in. Okay? So, that's kind of what price does. I know it sounds crazy, but it does tend to do that. So as this goes from touching that ceiling to then coming down to support, now that we're here, what can I start to hypothesize? Where do I think it's going to go? Up or down? It may go up, right? And as it starts to go up, this is where I want to take a trade called to go long. In options, buying a call. Okay? So by going long, what is my hypothesis? That I think, based off of where we are, where are we going to go? We are going to go up. And if my hypothesis is correct, we may go up and touch this ceiling. And me getting in at 12,750 all the way up here to 13,750, that's a difference of 1,000. And I now make money. Now, as it's at the ceiling, do I want to go long here when we're at the ceiling? When we're at the top, do I want to go long thinking it's going to keep going higher? Probably not, right? Because based off of historical data, we have done what? Dropped. So instead of going long here, I may want to do what? Go short. Or in the options world, buy a put. And in that sense, I'm looking for us to come down, and I make, if this comes down 1,000 points, I made money coming down. I know it's 908, we're gonna go a little bit longer, okay? So, I could make money on the trend up and on the trend down. Some people may think of that as a bet. I call it the trade, right? I'm using data to help me hypothesize what direction the stock is going to go. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So, what I want to do on a chart is map out where those peaks are. Well, I see, hey, here's a peak here. Hey, here is a floor right within here. Hey, we have some activity right in here. So based off of where we currently are right now, which is this candle, are we closer to the floor or are we closer to the ceiling on this given chart? We are way close to the top, right? We are at the ceiling. So if I'm looking at it from that perspective, what may I want to do? Go long or go short? I may want to go short, right? Because historically, when we touched that same price, look at, we came all the way down with all of these red candles. And that may happen here. We may hit this ceiling and come down. That is how you start to look at this market and start to get a little bit more in depth, right? Now, what I will do, this is looking at a year's worth of data. I can now, when I day trade, I look at 5 data. I zoom in to just the given trading day, okay? I look at just a given trading day to help me gauge what is going to go on. You definitely could go all the way down to a 1 minute if you wanted. I tend to stick at a 5 minute. So from this data, we can see, well, we have a peak right around here. That is my resistance today. I also see, off of this data, I have a floor right around here. And then there's some stuff in the middle of this, right? But there is my ceiling and there is my floor. So right here, we're right in the middle. I don't know whether to go long or to go short. So I have to wait. I have to wait until maybe this comes down and hits support. And then once it hits support, see if it starts to redirect and go up. And at that point, maybe I'll go long. Or this may come up and hit my resistance and struggle, in which case I think it's going to come down, and this is where I want to take my short. So I need to sit here and watch the screen and the chart to help me make my decisions. And I use historical data, and I use the collective of these candles to help paint that story for me. Does this make sense? Okay. Now, there can be a scenario. Let's clear this up a little bit. There can be a scenario. Let's use this as an example. Okay, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in from right here to right up there. There can be an example when a resistance becomes a support. Okay, so let me go back to my drawing tool. So all over here, we're not very good at breaking this, right? So this is my current active resistance. That's my peak right now. But as soon as we break it, that same level and that same price now becomes my new floor. And now that this is my new floor, and now that we're above what we were earlier, this may be an area where I want to go long now and ride it to the next ceiling. Well, where's the next ceiling? Well, I see a resistance right here, right? That's my next ceiling. So now I can take a call trade and wait until it gets to the next resistance level. And then this is called trading level to level. Okay? And this is a very simple way of doing it, right? So if I'm at resistance, what may I want to load up on? Puts. If I'm at support and it's holding support, what may I want to do? Go long and look for the move up. And I know that sounds simple, but it really is that simple. If you can keep trading simple, you put yourself at an advantage. A lot of people make this complex, which makes it even worse. If you just trade level to level, this is a very simple strategy. And I'm using data to help me determine those things. Now, there are other things that I can use to help paint the better picture. I'm not going to go into that here today, but that's how it works. Now, when trading futures specifically, every $1 that this moves, whether up or down, equals $20 in ROI. Okay? So, let's pretend. Let's go back. Let's pretend you took a trade, okay? It came up, it came down, and this is where you want to go long. It's at support, right? So you want to buy right here. Let's just pretend, okay? So that's at a price of $20,420. And you want to stay in it until it hits your ceiling, which is right here, which is over here, which is at $24.98. So $24.98 minus $24.20, you made $78 move. But again, every dollar equals $20 in ROI for you. So 78 times 20 is what? $1,560 in profit off of one contract. Now, let's pretend you had 10 Apex accounts linked. What is 1560 times 10? $15,600 on the day. This move of 70 points is very possible on a given day. 30 points is very possible on a given day. This is why, again, for me, if I was you, I would trade futures. I would go through a prop firm. I would first focus on trading with one account. And once you pass, then get multiple accounts and link them. And now, while they're linked, now you have the potential to multiply what you are doing. This is the power of something also called leverage, right? Just how many of you are homeowners in here? How many of you are homeowners? Did you have to put, let's pretend your house was $1 million. Did you have to put all $1 million to buy that house? No. What did you put? Something called a down payment, right? Maybe 20% down, maybe 10% down. You put a fraction of the total of the house, and you get to enjoy that asset, correct? Same thing here. For $80, people, I have the opportunity to trade and be able to make $1,500 on a given day. Even if it wasn't $1,500, let's say it was a 20-point move. 20 times 20 is $400. Let's say you just had one account, $400. Let's say you're able to do that just 2 times out of the week. That's $800. You paid $80 for the ability to maybe make $800 in 1 week. Why would you not do that? Sorry, I'm getting excited, right? Why would you not do that? It's right there. What would $800 extra a week do for you right now? That's $3,200 a month. What would $3,200 a month do for you right now? Groceries? Rent? Mortgage? Car? Kids' sports? Food? Maybe a date with your spouse? Kids' schooling? This is what's possible. And let me show you, right? Let me just take it one more step. I want you guys to see something. I saw this the other day. Going back to my testimonials. Made $500 on the watch list. That was in 1 day. Not even a week, 1 day. This person, Brian, who you could tell is military. He's been with me since 2018. Since 2018, he has made $130,000. He's had years where he has made $130,000. What would an extra $100,000 for you do? Right? Now, a lot of you are like, this is too good to be true, Drew. There's no way that it is this easy. I am telling you, with everything that I love, it is not that hard. Where it becomes hard, though, is here. It's all in your mental. You become your limiting factor. When I was going through my struggles of being a single dad at age 19, I was making $7.25 an hour. Okay? I was working 20 hours every 2 weeks. That was 40-hour months, not 40-hour weeks. 40-hour months. We're going to get back to the trading here in a second, but I want to take a pause to talk about this. That's $280 a month. I never would have imagined what it would be like to make $1,000 a month until I did it. And then, when I made $1,000 a month, I never would have imagined until I made $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 in a month, $1 million in a month, $1 million in a week, $1 million in one day. And I have done those things. And I'm no different than any of you. None. It's all right here. We are our limiting factor. Now I know it's scary because you don't know what you don't know, but if you believe, I am telling you from the bottom, and I'm not even, look, people don't believe I was a single dad at 19. That's me at 19 years old, right there. I'm a baby. With a baby. I am a baby with a baby. I am true testament as well, not only myself, go to my recent Instagram posts and look through those and see people making money on there. It happens all the time. Now, where people mess up and why people lose is this gets in their own way. And that's what I want to talk about next. Alright? You guys enjoying the live? Anybody need a potty break? Let me know if you need a break real quick. Type in break and we'll do like a 2-minute break. Break. Okay. Go take your potty. Go. Hurry up. Go wash your hands. In 5 minutes we'll start. We'll start back up. So it's 9:23. Your ass better be back in the seat. 9:28. 9:30. Okay? We'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll stay right here so you guys don't think the thing ended. Ass is definitely not a cuss word. I don't think so. It's borderline. Borderline. Next boot camp will be in January 2025. The discount code for the Apex is Apex Wolf. So you just go to Apex Trader Funding, you select one of these, and you type in Apex Wolf at the discount section. Okay. Alright, moving on, because I want to get to the Q&A stuff too. That's enough party break, unless people have to drop a deuce. Okay, mental side. Where things start to get mental for people, okay, where things start to hit the fan, is, let's just pretend, okay, let's come over here. Here's our floor. Here's our resistance, right within here. Okay, floor/support. So, where people start to get mentally triggered is as you're looking at each candle individually, this is going green. And so let's pretend you got it right here. Let's pretend you got it right here. This is where you got in. Okay? And it's right here right now. And now it's starting to come back down. So when you start to see something coming back down, what starts to get into your head? Fear. You start to fear that you are going to lose your money. And you start to become irrational with your decision. You're like, sell, sell, sell. I need to get out. I need to get out. Sell. But you're neglecting, hey, I'm still above water. I'm still above my support. And some people may get out here, but then they miss letting this continue and going way up here. And even further, way up here. Because they let a little downturn get into their mental. And so they start to focus on the candles and their profit versus seeing the pattern. So one of the biggest things where people mess up is they don't focus on the pattern and they don't focus on their support and resistances. They focus on their profit and they focus on just the small little move that is going on. So we got to get out of that mental so we can focus on these things, right? That is why it's so hard for a lot of people, because of this. A story time. I always tell stories. I went to Disneyland about a year ago, okay? And I'm at Disneyland, and it's a mom and her daughter, okay? The daughter looks to be about 5 years old, okay? 5, 6 years old. Her first time at Disneyland. It's her very first time at Disneyland. And the mom's like, don't ask for anything. You're not going to get it. The daughter wanted Minnie Mouse ears. Right? It's her first time. Mom's like, I can't afford that. And she's venting to other people that are in line for snacks or whatever, the cost of all this stuff. Oh my God, soda is so expensive. Oh my God, popcorn is so expensive. Oh my God, everything is so expensive. Do you think her daughter felt good about being on this little trip now? Probably not, right? She probably hated every single minute of it because her mom was there complaining about the lines, about the cost of things, about all of this stuff. So, why fucking go? I did that cuss on purpose. Why go? If you are going to take them somewhere, why be negative? Right? But the mom probably didn't even realize how negative she was being, because she was programmed to think that way. She was programmed with a scarcity mindset. She was programmed to think in scarcity versus abundance. When you start rewiring your mental to think more abundantly, and instead of thinking, I can't have, I deserve to have, that's when things start to change for you. When I was at single dad, I used to think, man, I can't have that. I can't have that life. I can't do this. I'm living that life I thought I used to not be able to ever dream. Because I started thinking abundantly. Because the world is full of abundance. It's full of health, it's full of wealth, it's full of love and happiness. But you have to put your mind in your frequency to be able to receive it. With trading, there's a really good book, people. It's called Atomic Habits. Go get it. There is a really good book called Atomic Habits. But instead of me saying, I want to become a disciplined trader, I say, I am a disciplined trader. Instead of saying, I want to be a better husband, or I want to be healthy, I am healthy. I am, right? It's like affirmations, right? And I'm putting myself and I'm seeing it out to the world, so then it becomes. And it's very true, you are what you end up thinking. If I go into a trade thinking I'm going to lose, I'm most likely probably going to lose. So a lot of it, ladies and gentlemen, is right here. Okay, we are our solution and we are also our problem. It's all mental. But anyway, that was a very high level of the trading side of things, looking at the candles and how I can make simple decisions on to go long or short to help me make my trades. Okay? And from there, I could tie that into that same system I could use for investing. I can use for swing trading. I can use when I trade options. Okay? I'm not here to go over the super granular stuff because that'll take another 2 hours, and that's where that's where my teachings come in. But if you guys want more education, right? You could go to Stock Market Wolf. You could join our free program, which you guys all are. You can go to YouTube and watch our courses for free, some of them. You could come to a boot camp. You could have one-on-one time with me. But I want to leave some time to answer questions that you guys may have. If you want to unmute yourself, we could talk. But I wanted to get to those things, right? And again, the very first step that I would take, I would go to Apex. I would pick one of these things. I would sign up and use my coupon, Apex Wolf, and get started. If you want to join our community, go to Stock Market Wolf and join the community. Okay? And those are at least the first 2 steps that you need to take. And if you don't want to take any of those and you want to do it all yourself, you totally 100% can. Just understand if everything comes at a cost. I did it all by myself. I had to read books. And along the way, I had to lose money. But it came at a much greater cost than just money. It also came at the cost of my time. Right? So, anyway. If you guys have questions on anything that we have discussed today, feel free to type it in. Feel free to raise your hand and I can unmute you and we can have some conversations. But I really hope you enjoyed today's webinar of trading. And I know it seems simple, but keep it simple. If you enjoyed it, type in value. I just want to see the last roll call. Did you get value from today's seminar? Awesome. Or webinar, whatever you want to call it, today's teaching. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay? So again, one more time, look at all the people getting value. Mass value. Awesome. And Vince, who from Apex, is also on, and he could also help identify some questions. Okay? But, one more time, the first 2 steps that you need to do, Apex Trader Funding. With a small monthly fee, you get access to capital. And we showed how, with 80 bucks, I have the potential to make 800. Okay? Next step, if you want to get more involved, is join a community. You could join ours, Stock Market Wolf. Okay? Or, you simply just buy a book. You go the Apex route and get books, watch free YouTubes, and figure it out on your own. Okay? But I do have Vince here. So Vince, if you are available, let me see, how do I do this? Raise your hand on the thing, and I could bring you on, and people could ask you questions, not to throw you under the fire. But I'm sure you'll be able to answer better questions than myself. So there's Vince. Oh my gosh, my thing is messing up. Hang on. Vince, where'd you go? Where'd you go? I saw you. Raise your hand. There he is. What's up, Vince?
Hey Andrew, hey everybody, how are you?
Throwing you in the fire, man.
Well, I am in the fire, you know. It's good, it's good. So we got some questions popping up here in chat. And I can try to answer some of these. Let's see.
If you guys have Apex related questions, type those in now. We got one of their representatives here on the calls to help you guys with any of those questions you may have. Is Apex available in Canada?
Yes. And you can use it in Europe. We actually have, if you go to our website, we actually have a list of restricted countries that we don't allow, but we allow over 100 countries at this point. So, and we're active in about 105 right now.
What about the UK?
Yes.
Yes.
I think he does like.
Time frame on Apex?
I think he does.
Okay, so I see a question on the time
One
frame
a
on
month or
Apex.
twice a month.
No, you can take as long as you need. We currently have a 1 day to pass, so if you buy an evaluation, you could technically pass it in a day and be funded the next day, but you can take as long as you need. What was the drawdown question?
Just to kind of go over if you could clarify the 30% drawdown rule.
We don't actually have a 30%, so they might be referring to the 30%. We do have like a more than 30% of your profit comes from a single day. They might be referring to that.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, that's not a bad thing. It's just that you have to keep on trading until your total profit in your account falls under that rule. So a lot of people think when they do that if they have a $10,000 day, they think, oh my gosh, I just broke a rule and I'm gonna lose my account. No, that's not the case at all. It just means keep trading until your profit becomes less than that 30%. Your single day can't exceed more than that.
So he doesn't, when he live trades, he doesn't show his entries. He just says like from this level to this level, and then he'll show you the trade after. But he trades
based on the account size, and I think the thing to always remember is that the trail follows your peak balance.
So he, okay, instead of trying to talk over him, does webinar about once or twice a month, I believe. I've been with him since 2021. I did his mentorship in 2022. He's legit, he's pretty straightforward. But it's a different perspective. I trade kind of like him, but not 100% like him, Again, he trades NQ, I trade ES, but same idea, price action, volume, and key levels.
Yeah, I know that people are going to come out and say that's not the case. It is the case. We have stats that prove that, because what trailing does, and it did for me, trailing teaches you to bank the profit, right? Instead of assume that the market's just going to keep going up on the day. So there's many times where, when I was trading Apex, that I would be up a couple thousand on the day, and I was really glad that I trailed tight and got taken out with the trail versus letting the market come all the way back down to my entry. But it
Just so
varies.
you guys know, Vince made $1 million in Apex. He knows what he's talking about.
So if your account, I see someone in here says something about their account says no more purchases allowed. So if you log into Apex and it says you cannot buy more evals, that's likely because we're considering taking you to a live account. That means we've seen consistency, and our team is reviewing your accounts. That doesn't mean you can't continue to trade your current evals, resetting your current evals, or trading your PA accounts. That simply means that we're reviewing your trade consistency and likely are going to convert you to a live account. We're working very diligently right now to convert a lot of traders to live. It's a coming regulatory issue that we're addressing early.
They want to know, can you go over the payout rules?
So all you have to do on the payouts is have 10 days of trading, and then you can request a payout. The minimum payouts are listed under our FAQ on our website based on the account size that you have. We just, I just got information on this today. We're actually going to be introducing a threshold, so you have to have a minimum, you have to keep a minimum threshold in the account, because what was happening, we had a lot of people would get to the first payout and take the max payout and leave themselves a couple $100 of drawdown. And I think Andrew will concur with this. You can't trade futures with a couple $100. It's just not going to work. So we'd have traders that would get to $2,600 and then want to pull out $25,000 or $2,000 and leave $500 in their account. And then they would just keep cycling through accounts. Well, that's never going to work in a live environment. So even though we're in a paper environment, we have to condition traders for a live environment. Because ultimately, that's where all traders need to be, is they need to be in a live environment trading live money. So you can request a payout every 10 days. That's changing. As I speak, that is changing. We're going to a payout structure of just 8 days. So there is going to be no payout period per se. Right now, you could request twice a month between the 1st and the 5th and the 15th and the 20th. That's all going away. We're simply going to require 8 days. You can request a payout. 8 days, you can request a payout. So the pay periods are going away. That's improving as we speak. Consider having more than 20 accounts linked, or is that the top? That's the top with Apex, and I believe that's the top with any firm out there at this point. So 20 accounts is the max that we allow. As we move into a potentially regulated environment, that's going to get reduced, especially when we move accounts to live. When you go to live, you can only have 3 accounts, and that's not Apex, that's regulation. So, but in the prop firm space right now, we allow up to 20 accounts. So the 25,000, that is for each account, yes. So that means if you have 20 accounts, you get 100% of the first 25,000 that you make in that account. After that, the profit split is 90% to you, 10% to us. So yes, that is per account. Take that times 20 if you got 20 accounts.
Do you have to pay a monthly fee after you pass?
After you pass the evaluation, we have the choice for either a monthly fee or a lifetime fee. And that's, again, that is based on the account size that you have. That's all under our FAQ. If you want to look up and see, if you have a 50K account, you can see what the PA fee is for the monthly versus a lifetime.
Do you need to record yourself on screen when taking trades?
No. So here a while back, we requested quite a few videos from people. And what was interesting about it is we have hundreds of thousands of traders. And I think we requested videos from hundreds, if even that. And typically those requests came because we were seeing same IP addresses from multiple traders. We wanted to ensure that they weren't using copy trading services, because while we allow you to copy trade across 20 accounts, you have to be the person clicking the mouse, right? You can't go out there and hire a trading service and give them your login information and have them trade your account. You can't do that in prop. You certainly can't do that in a regulated, real environment. So again, we have to condition traders for the regulated, real environment. And so the only time you would have to record yourself doing trades is if we request. And I know that John Skelton, our CFO, just said in an interview yesterday that in the last payout period, I think they only requested 6 traders. And again, that's out of hundreds of thousands of traders we have. So that's not happening very much. So no. What makes Apex different from other prop firms? First of all, we've paid out $335 million since 2022. We've paid out more in the last 90 days than other prop firms have paid out in their entire life. And we allow up to 20 accounts. And so if you look at a lot of the other firms out there, some allow 5 accounts, some allow 3 accounts, some allow up to 11 accounts once you hit profit target. We allow 20 accounts. And we pay.
Low. All right, guys. Well, if you guys have more questions too, I could get on with Vince and find, check through the FAQ, check through some of this stuff on the FAQ page. And if you guys have more questions outside from that, I'm always helpful to connect you with either Vince or a rep to get those questions answered. I really wanted to bring Vince on to help address some of those bigger questions for you, which I think he did. And so just want to everybody say thanks, Vince, for taking some time and coming on here and chatting with us for a second.
Yeah, and anytime if you want to do an event, Andrew, where we just talk about Apex FAQ, glad to do that. Just reach out to us.
Yeah.
But
And
I want everybody to know on this call, Andrew is the guru when it comes to this. I've watched him, and in fact, Andrew doesn't even know this, but back when I had my $1 million run, he was a little bit of the inspiration behind that. I was actually watching him back then already. So Andrew is the bomb when it comes to the futures, and I love his simplistic approach to it. I listened as I was driving today to his webinar, and it was phenomenal. It really was. So good job.
thanks a lot, Vince. Hey, you have a great rest of your day, man. Thanks for joining.
Right, you too. See ya.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we did go over quite a bit. There's a question there. What made you choose options versus futures? So options is very lucrative if you are on the right side of the trade. There are pros and cons to futures, or to options versus futures. So when you are trading futures, let's just pretend we are looking at, let's say you got into the trade right here at 24.60, okay? And that's at 1 o'clock. Let's say later down the road, you're back at 24.60, and that's 6 hours later. If I'm trading futures, I'm back right where I started. I'm back at 0. If I'm trading options, as that time starts to go, there is something called time decay. And when you trade options, you trade something that are called premiums. Those premiums are the value by which you pay to own or have control of a contract. As time starts to go, just like any contract, the value starts to decrease, right? So there's a concept in options called Greeks, right? And so it's time decay, it's theta and IV. That is what starts to reduce that premium price over time. Okay? Here's an example, right? For those that don't understand options. Let's pretend, how many of you here watch sports? How many people watch sports? Or familiar with sports of some kind? Okay, yes. Okay? So let's say, right now we're watching baseball. I'm in LA, so we're waiting for the Dodgers to get to the World Series. Let's say it's the beginning of the season, preseason, and I sell you a $1,000 ticket, or let's say a $100 ticket, non-refundable, to the Game 7 World Series. What risk do you have? High or low risk? You have very high risk because the Dodgers may not even make it to the playoffs. They may not even make it to the World Series. And even if they did make it to the World Series, there's no potential that there is a Game 7. Now let's say the Dodgers start to do really, really good during the regular season and they go undefeated, which is almost unheard of, right? They have an undefeated season and they're about to get into playoffs. At this time, do you think the ticket that you bought for $100 during preseason is less or more expensive now? Less or more, it's substantially more expensive, right? Because the probability now that the Dodgers are going to go to the World Series is starting to increase because they were undefeated. Now, you're still hanging on to this ticket. You're like, I'm either going to go or I'm going to sell this, right? Now let's go to the playoffs. And as you've let more time develop, the Dodgers are 1-3 in the series on the second round of playoffs. They've only won one game, and the other team has won 3. They only need one more game to win. What do you think now the value of that ticket is? Is it just as expensive, or has it dropped substantially? It has probably reduced in price by a lot. It's probably almost nothing. But you decide to hang on for it, and now the Dodgers lose in the playoffs. So because you've held that ticket the entire time at $100, and at one point maybe it was worth $1,000 when they were undefeated in the regular season, and in the playoffs when they started to lose and it started to decrease in the value, and now that they lost, what do you think that value of that ticket is? It's nothing. Zero. Use that same analogy and concept with trading options. I'm going to buy a ticket, and if price goes in my favor and things start to work out for me, I'm going to make a lot of money. But if things start to go stagnant or start to go the opposite way, that premium could start to go down, or I could lose it all. In futures, where I start, and if it stays at that same price and doesn't move, I'm at zero. There's nothing happening. I'm not losing, I'm not making. So those are some of the key differences between trading options and trading futures. But now, I would even argue that trading futures is a lot more profitable because you can link multiple accounts together. If I have a $200 win in one account, but I have 10 accounts linked, that just became a $2,000 day for me. If I was just trading with my own money, that was only $200. But now I have multiple linked accounts, that now just became a $2,000 day. Any other questions? Feel free to type them in. Can I go more in depth about my services? Basically, for our services, we offer a watch list in the morning. So this is before the market opens. I give you my hypothesis of what I think the market's going to do based off of data. We do a live stream where I talk to you very much like this. And as the trades are going, I'm guiding you through them. And then there's a chat room so you can talk with other people. So those are like the 3 main components of our services. That's for the membership. We also have a university, which is which is about somewhere between a 10 and 20 hour course that takes you A through Z. It's comprised of 27 mini lessons that walks you from knowing nothing to being able to trade. And those courses go in depth for options trading, futures trading, and trading shares. Live is, yes, it's now every day. How do I get in and out? So when you set up your trading view to your TradeObey, and you're gonna come and trade, there's a button here called trade. And if I wanna buy, meaning I want this to go up, so if I hit buy first, if I come over here and I hit buy first, I'm assuming, I'm saying that this is going to go up, right? If I hit sell first, I'm assuming that this is going to drop, okay? the quantity I could change right here. How many units do I want to buy? Units is how many contracts do I want to buy. So let's pretend I got in right here at this 20,480, and it went over here to 20,500. Just a 20-point move. This is a 20-point move. Remember, every $1 that this moves equals $20 in ROI. So if this is 20 times 20, that's $400 you made off of one contract. But let's pretend I bought 2 units. Well, now that just became $800 for the 2 contracts you bought. But this is all in just one trading account. If I had 10 trading accounts, and I just traded 1 contract, that just became a $4,000 day total. If I had 10 accounts and I traded with 2 contracts per account, that just became an $8,000 day. If I just traded with my own money and caught this 20-point move, that was $400. So you could see the leverage by being able to link and have multiple accounts through a prop firm. It's a no-brainer. Even if you have the money, even if you are a multi-millionaire and you have the money to trade with your own money, why would you ever expose it? I would go the futures route all day long. Okay, but I think we've gone through quite a bit. We are right at that 10 o'clock mark. I really hope you got, if you were to ask me today if I prefer futures over options, which was one of the questions, it's futures all day long. All day long. And it would be prop firm all day long. Going back, how many people lost more than $5,000 in your own money trading options or trading shares or anything? How many? Just say me. How many people have lost at least $5,000? Literally people that have lost money. It's $80 for one account for Apex. Just pretend it's $100. How much does 100 go into 5,000? 50 times. You would have to fail 50 times to equal that same $5,000 that you may have lost off of one trade. Just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. But anyway, do I use indicators? Yes, I use exponential moving averages to help give me a little bit more insight into my decision making of going long or going short. Which indicators I use? I use the exponential moving averages. I use the 9 exponential moving average, the 20, and the 50. How do I determine how many lots do I trade with?
9, 20, and 50.
And I reverse calculate. I need to know my entry, and I do my stop, and I calculate the difference between those two, which gives me a dollar amount of what I would be losing. And I ask myself, is that loss within my tolerance? And if so, how many contracts could I play with where if I do suffer that loss, I'm within that tolerance? And then that's what I focus on. This is a reverse calculation. You don't need to just use Trading View. Trade-O-Bait has the ability for you to trade out of as well with no extra cost. What is the cost of the contract? Honestly, I don't even know. I don't focus on the cost of the contract. It doesn't even matter to you. What matters to you is how much you can lose in knowing your entry and your exit. Those are the things that you want to focus on. With trading out of a prop firm. If you're trading with your own money, I'm blanking on what the actual cost is. You need to have a shit ton of money though in order to trade futures.
1,500.
With your own money.
I mean, 15 grand minimum.
With live trading, can you pay monthly? Yeah, we have a monthly service. Just go on the website, STOCKMARKET. My discount code is APEXWOLF. How do you decide where your stop would be? I base my stop, so let's go back to it. Here, I'll give you guys one example, okay? So, let's pretend, can you guys see the screen? Yes? Okay. Let's pretend I wanted to go short here, okay? So I'm gonna buy, let's pretend I'm buying right here at 20,480. Where's my resistance? Where can you see resistance on this chart? Type in a price. Where do you see resistance at? Like our peak. 20,521, exactly, right? So this is our main resistance. So what I'm going to do is I calculate the difference between these two, which is what? 40 bucks, 40 points, okay? So this is a 40-point drop. You remember, every point is $1, or every 1 point is 20 bucks. So 40 times 20, I would lose $800 if I let this come from right here back to my stop loss. The question I then ask myself, based off of my trading account, can I suffer an $800 loss? So let's use a real example. Let's go back here. Your max drawdown, let's look at a 50K account. Your max drawdown is 2,500. Excuse me. So if I had a 50K account, my max drawdown is 2,500. Could I essentially afford that $800 loss? Yes, but that's almost half of my account. I don't want to do that. So I do something called half and half. So I take that and I do that in half, which is $1,250. And I take that and I do that in half, which is about $625. And I can even take that further and call it an even $300. This is how much I'm willing to risk per trade. Well, if I'm trading one NASDAQ, just one contract of the NASDAQ, I'm going to lose $800. So does this work? If I'm only willing to lose $300 per trade, does this example work? No, it doesn't. Right? However, I can do something. I can either do one of two things here at this point. I can either do what John just said and set a tighter stop. What's the caveat with setting a tighter stop though? I'm not just following the trend anymore. I'm basing it off of some random number. And thus, what is the potential that I get stopped out? It increases that likelihood that I'm going to get stopped and taken out of that trade. So I may not want to adjust my stop. I'm completely fine where my stop is at. So I can either not trade, I could adjust my stop with the risk of it, I getting stopped out, or I could do something called trading the micros. And instead of trading NQ, I trade a symbol called MNQ. NQ, for every $1 move, that's going to equal $20 ROI, either plus or 40, okay? For the micros, every $1 move is going to equal $2 in ROI. So the same move here, if I'm trading the micros, 40 times 2 is now, instead of 800, $80. How much does 80 go into 300? About what, 4-ish? That's a little over, so maybe 3-ish, okay? I could then change this from NQ to MNQ and trade 3 contracts. Now, let's say this drops all the way down here to the support level of 420. I got in at 480 and it dropped to 420, so that's 60. 60 times 2 equals 120, but I have 3 contracts, okay? So that's $360 I just made per trading account. If I had 10 accounts, that just became a $3,600 day. This is a very realistic example of how I trade. Almost to the T. Alright? So that's how I do my reverse calculation. I see if it's within my tolerance, and then I go about it accordingly. Cons of trading futures. Cons of trading futures in your own money, shit ton of cons. It's very expensive, you have unlimited risk. Trading futures out of a prop firm, no cons. Zero. The only con is what you're putting up for that monthly fee. That's it. There is no fucking cons other than that. The other con of it is if you're a degenerate and you treat it as a gambling and you're just trying to pass in one day, you're not really following the system, right? So that can become a con. But that's very few and far between the people that treat it like that. When can I join the university? So if you guys want to join the university, again, you guys should have all got access to, let me go back to the community real quick. When I sent out the free webinar today, you guys got an email that looked exactly like this, but you guys should also have access to this chat. In here is the link to join Apex and use your coupon code. Go do that today. Okay, go sign up for Apex, use Apex Wolf. Joining memberships, you could do that. Tracking your trades, for those of you that have wanted to work one-on-one with me, this is where you go to track your trades. This is my link with Zelle. You get a discount off of that. And I look at people's metrics and help people perform. But if you want to join our university, which is our courses, and to be able to trade with me for an entire year, this is the link you go to. Right here. Join the wait list for the university. If you want to have a one-on-one mentorship with me, this is the wait list where you go. Okay? So everything that you can need is right here within the free webinar link. I also put it in the announcements page. If you are a member, I put it in the announcements page there. You also should have got emails. So all of that is there for you right there. You just have to open it up and read it. Okay? But again, I really hope that are your courses the same as the university? Well, it's the same thing. University is where all my courses are. I really hope you guys got value from today's webinar. I hope it helped answer a lot of questions for you. I gave my time here for free for 2 hours for you guys to do it with no expectations of you signing up for anything. I sent you there so you can see what, if you want to do that, then you could go ahead and do that, but there's no obligation to you. You could go to Barnes & Noble, you could go to YouTube and figure things out on your own, or you could go through this other route. In any sense, all I want to say is I wish you all the very best. I thank you guys all for your support and your love, and I want you to always understand that you are your solution, you are your problem, and you gotta take accountability and do the things to get yourself and your life into a place that you want. And that's where communities come into play, because there are a lot of people that don't have somebody to talk to or even relate or talk to anything about trading. And that's where a trading community could be so helpful, is that you are surrounded by like-minded individuals that are all trying to get to the same goal that you have, which is financial freedom. And I'm not a fucking flashy guy. I don't give two fucks about Lamborghinis. I don't give two fucks about material shit. I care about freedom and spending time with my family. And I know that's the same for many of you, right? And so that's why I'm so passionate about this, because this is something that has changed my life. And I hope even just this talk may trigger a spark for you to start taking the right direction financially for your own. So thank you guys so much. Again, thank you guys for the love and support. I hope you have an amazing rest of your Sunday and a great week if I don't see you. And best wishes. Thank you guys. I'll catch you guys on the next time.